why do you think people should listen to you on this episode?
Well, I would say I have about over 35 years now of entrepreneurial experience. I've been working for myself, running businesses since 1988-ish, 89. So I do have quite a bit of experience. I've grew to great success, had tremendous failure in 08, 09, lost everything, including my home, with 6 small children and a wife, had to restart. So then I did that, and that was very difficult. So I went through that struggle, rescaled 2 more businesses after that, and then started helping other businesses do the same. So I've been doing that for almost 10 years. So it's been exciting. And what I do is I help businesses create freedom, profit, and impact in their business, because most people are stuck in what's called the owner prison. I wrote a best-selling book called Escape the Owner Prison. It's the contractor's new way to scale, regain control, and fast-track growth while loving life. So that also has the tools in that book to do the same thing, to where your business now serves you and you don't serve it. So I've, again, a lot of experience with countless clients, helping them do this exact same thing with their business. And that's why you should listen.
Wow, that's quite a lot. And your response to that basically captures the whole part of the conversation. I think we should just call it quits at this point and call it a day. Did you think? All right. Thank you so much, Richard. So, ladies and gentlemen, whomever is listening, this is Richard Walsh. He's the CEO of Sharpening the Spear Coaching. He's a speaker, an entrepreneur, and the author of the bestseller Escaping the Owner Prison. In the space of 30 years, he has mastered the art of work-life balance and helped over 10,000 small businesses, including touching the lives of millions of business owners and employees, to make their lives better. If you are tuned in, please, across all platforms, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast, please, it would be good for you to subscribe to the channel and leave a like, leave a comment, so that we can get this conversation to much more wider audience. All right, so thank you so much for coming in, Richard. The first question I would like to ask is that you said you lost everything in 2008 and slash 2009. Mm-hmm. Tell me about that experience. How did you do it?
So after 20 years in business, just about 20 years, I was doing really well. I was top of my game, right? I was the best at what I did. I built custom water features. Now I had to become an internationally recognized steel sculptor. So winning awards, I'm in publications, I'm doing seminars, I'm doing all kinds of great things. Then the collapse comes. It really starts to, restrict people, right? So they don't have the money. They don't want to spend the money. And I'll tell you, November 5th of 2008, I lost $500,000 on that day. And it just continued to go down from there. Okay. Because people didn't have to have what I offered, right? It's a luxury item. So they don't have to have a water feature in their backyard. They could wait. And I'm not saying they were probably right to wait at that time with what was going on. But Mahmoud, I'll tell you, I don't blame the economic collapse. This is what's really important. I blame the things that I didn't do in my business to make it so I could weather a collapse like that. Because if it was the collapse, that means everybody would have lost their business, right?
Sure.
So think about that. So people like to blame something. We all do. We're humans. We want to blame someone else for our problems, and what I don't. I owned it. There's a lot of things I ignored, put off, didn't address, because I was making money. I was winning awards. I was out front doing all that. I wasn't really building the house properly. So I didn't have the right foundation, even after 20 years. So it's not like you screwed up the first year or two, Mahmoud. I messed up for 20 years. Okay. Outside, it looked like I had a lot of success, and I did in that way. But internally, if you can't weather a storm, okay, you're building your house on sand, right? That's what it is. And it's going to just get blown away when the right storm comes. And that's what happened to me. So from that point, now I had to readjust. I lost my home. I had 6 small kids under 4 years old and my wife. We had to relocate. We had to change where we lived and everything else. I had to sell everything I had left and figure out how to start over. Now, Mahmoud, the problem was I'm unemployable. Okay. I spent 20 years working for myself. I'm not going to be able to work for someone else. Okay. I have to run a company. So I had to navigate that because I had to do something. I didn't know what in the beginning. I just knew I had to get my family settled, relocate, and get them settled, and then begin the process again. So that's kind of how it went.
Okay. It must have been a little bit challenging because I can't imagine losing everything. I lost a job and it felt like I lost everything. And for you to be able to lose lose your house, the business, what were the exact things that you now did to weather the storm to come out of it?
Yeah. So what I did do first was I owned most of my equipment. Okay. So I had trucks and trailers and everything else, but not the best time to sell them when everything is collapsing. So I got 25, 30 cents on the dollar from my equipment. So I got a little bit of money, right? Not a lot. And this stuff was pretty new equipment. I spent a lot of money. I paid cash and everything else for it. So that was what kind of helped me limp along and at least get to move a little bit. But at the same time, I also didn't want to do what I did. I wasn't trying to restart my existing business. I wasn't trying to do that again. I didn't want anything to do with that. I'd done that for 20 years. I said, I'm not going to do that ever again. So I also got rid of everything. I realized my identity was really wrapped up in what I did. So if it wasn't me out doing everything, right? Me being the face of the company, me being this, then I wasn't a success, right? I really was about feeding my own ego,
Okay.
and that is a problem in business.
Yeah.
Okay. Because your ego shouldn't matter. You need to put that in a box and worry about building a good business and serving your clients, right? So so I said, well, what can I do? Well, I'm a fitness trainer. I love fitness. I work out all the time. I was a really good trainer. So I said, I'm going to do that just to begin with. So I started training people at a gym, and that went well. Okay, I did really well. Actually, in a year, I became the trainer of the year for the Anytime Fitness, huge brand of workout places. I became the trainer of the year. Ooh, so I'm good. So you know what that means? That means I have to open my own gym. That means I'm going to go build my own thing. So I started my own gym, a boot camp style training. Really awesome, went really well, grew that. That was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. And then from there, so now I'm like, okay, I'm working for myself. Then I started like, I'm going to build this business different than I did my first one. Now it's going to be about other people working for me, doing the work. I'm going to do what I can do, what only I can do, which I call my 5%. I'm going to focus that on this business and run this and make sure I can get home when I want to get home, see my kids, go when I want to go, work when I want to work. And that was kind of my design. But then I just had to figure out the steps to do that. And that was a great business for me to begin because it wasn't complex.
Okay.
It was very simple. So I put those pieces together. Then I moved on to contracting. So doing roofing, siding, and windows for homes. I moved on to that and went the next level with that. So I was able to scale that, build that, do the same thing, do really well with that. And then at that same time, again, that's when I started coaching other people who were asking me, how did you, just like you're asking me, how did you do this? How did you go from that to nothing back to this? And I started showing them the ways I learned to make this happen, right? How to put the right things in place. It basically comes down to three things, Mahmoud. It's automate, delegate, and eliminate. So I want to automate whatever I can in the business. That's key, right? And that can be, anything from software to virtual assistants to anything you can do to automate that's at least someone else or something else is doing the work, right? And it does it consistently, all the good stuff. And then there's delegate, which is giving the work to people that I normally would be happy doing, but I can't do it because I can't grow a business if I'm doing everything. It relies on me then. So now there's a whole storyline we go down on delegation. There's a way to do that properly. A lot of people don't do it properly, and that causes a lot of issues with their business. It still ends up failing because they have not necessarily the wrong people in the position, but they haven't built out the position that they're in so they can succeed. So that employee, that person on the team can succeed, right? So it's the whole, they kind of get the cart before the horse. You do this, they tell someone to do that, but they don't show them how, they don't give them the tools and resources. And that's when things fall flat. Now, the third thing is elimination. Okay, so you want to eliminate costs, right? High costs, cost overruns, redundancies, inefficiencies. You want to eliminate that. But the biggest thing you want to eliminate is yourself. You want to eliminate you from having to do all this. So people think they kind of forget that. They think that they again have to have their hands in everything, and you really don't. And once you build it so that you don't, and you get the competent people in there, you train them up, you have their lanes built, this business can run with your minimal oversight. So you can go from working 70 or 80 hours a week down to 10, 12, 15 hours a week. And your business will do way better than you put whenever you were putting in the 70, 80 hours, because you have people doing this who are probably a lot better at these positions than you are. Because you don't want to be a jack of all trades, master of nothing. What I want to master is growing and scaling the business, building teams, giving them the right place to work, a place that they can thrive, and I can grow this business, right? I can look down the road. I can look at the whole chessboard, so to speak. I can have a 30,000-foot view and know my strategy on where I'm going to take the business, instead of worried about making payroll on Friday or hiring the next 3 people or whatever that is, getting the next piece of software. I want to eliminate myself from that so that I can focus on true growth.
Yeah. The way, thank you very much for those the way you articulated it. That is, you said automates, delegates, and what again?
Eliminate.
And eliminates. It's very crystal, because as somebody who has had the opportunity to work with big organizations, sometimes you never even see the CEO, the owner of the business anyways, and the business is running as a well-oiled engine. But one thing that I've found consistent across all of those businesses is that they spend so much time finding the right talent for the roles, and the employment process is oftentimes very lengthy, at least from my own experience, very rigorous and detailed. What I want to now ask you now, as somebody who has been in business for probably older than I am, is that what are the things that you've seen consistently in the last 5 years that is missing in terms of elements, in terms of attributes that young professionals have, or young business owners have, that I think is missing, that if they are listening today, they will be able to pick a few of those things and be able to put themselves in a better position than they currently are?
Yeah, I'll tell you what that is. It really is, they don't have the vision. Okay, now we call it strategic vision. So whether you're starting a business, you're a couple of years in, and you want to hire people, and I don't care what age it is, it doesn't matter, okay? People are driven by purpose. They're not driven by money. Money's like the third thing, maybe fourth on the list. That's a priority to someone who wants to come and work for you, me, or anyone else, okay? Everyone thinks it's money, and it's not, okay? The number one is they want purpose. They want to go to work for a reason and not to get a dollar. They want to go to work to make a difference, right? Even in their own little sphere in that, right? And the second thing they want is what's called quality feedback and recognition. So they want to know, am I doing a good job? How can I be better? They actually want to be instructed. They want to know if they're doing a good job. They want to be recognized for doing that good job. And then you've got your money. Really, that's really where it is, because if you don't have the first two, you'll get sold out for 50 cents an hour. They'll go down the road to someone else because they don't care. So the reason for the vision, this we call strategic vision, is to create a vision for your company, where it's going in the future. And we only go 18 to 24 months out. So what we want to do is create a vision of how we're going to achieve this vision in the next 18 to 24 months. And that's your entire customer journey, from when for the first call or first inquiry, all the way through the finish and past the finished product or service, right? And then inside that is every single person on your team, how they fit, how they're the hero in that journey and how it doesn't work if they're not there, right? They have purpose, they have a drive, but we really understand what the outcome is. It's beyond, I made this and gave it to them, right? That's not very fulfilling. Putting A into B and A into B and A into B all day is not a fulfilling job for anybody, no matter what. So we want to really understand who we're serving, how we serve them, why we serve them. So all that's part of the strategic vision. So when people want to work for me or anyone, the first thing they get is this written strategic vision, and it's 6 to 10 pages long. And they read it. We have them read it before we even interview them, before the first phone call interview, first 5-minute phone call interview. First question, did you read the strategic vision? And say, oh, I didn't get a chance to, it seemed really long. Okay, well, you have a good day. And you hang up the phone because they already can't follow directions. Okay, so why even, well, I won't give them another 10 seconds of my time. I just hang up on them. Okay, just say goodbye. Now, the ones who did, I'll say, okay, well, where do you see yourself fitting in here? Oh, I'm the warehouse manager guy. Man, I love warehouses. I love working forks, and I love having stuff organized. And they get into this whole thing of why they love warehouses, right? Because I spelled it out in my vision, how we get our people, how they operate, everything else inside there, right? So now they're feeling called to that. Now they're like, actually have a position. They want to work they understand how the whole company works. Now they're seeing a culture in the business, right? So you actually have a culture of how it all works before they even get the first interview, right? Now I get the 5-minute interview. We go through that. Then we get them the first interview in person. Again, talk to them more, check their backgrounds. We do all the necessary things, right? One thing that I found, and you mentioned this too, Mahmoud, how difficult it is in the hiring process for you to get hired, but there's a reason for that. I want people to earn the position. I don't want someone with a pulse. Oh, you breathe? Oh, great, you got a job, and give them the job, right? Well, I want someone to go, okay, I had to work for this position. This is going to be awesome. They show me their strategic vision. I know what I'm working for. I know who I'm working with. I know I can be a part of this. I know how much money I'm going to make, right? I know my upside potential. I know where I can go in this. They've got all this stuff built out. Now I know that. I earned it. I'm staying here. I'm making things, right? Because everyone's working together. They're driving for that purpose, right? They're getting the feedback. They're getting the recognition, and the money. And then the money comes with it. Right? We don't try to not pay them because they're just working for a purpose, but we want to reward them very well, but it's incentivized as well. So they do a lot of things inside that position that enables them to achieve even as people, right? So a key to that is not just making them more competent as an employee, to make them better people. What can you do to increase their ability to be a better person so that they can take that home? Because being great at their job, no one really cares at home. Do they? Yeah. You start talking about your job and everyone's going like, oh, Dad, come on, like that's enough. Okay, we don't care. We don't even know what that is. But when you say, hey, I got CPR certified, they gave me some educational classes. Now I have another level. I got certified in 3 different things. Now I'm a really valuable employee that I can take with me anywhere I go. Because Mahmoud, the reality is everybody leaves. You want to keep people forever. We all want to have that fantasy. But we don't. And it might be 5 years, might be 20 years, might be 5 days, but they're all going to leave. So it's important that what I actually want to do, and that what I teach all these businesses, let's build great people. So when they do leave, the next business they work for goes, man, where did you come from? Who trained you like this? They're like, well, that was over here at, Sharpen the Spear or whatever. Oh, man, let's be a benefit to the economy. Let's be a benefit of the business. Let's change. I want to create great people that people want to hire. Because there's plenty of people you don't want to hire. There's an overload we don't want to hire. I want to pay people that they feel okay when they leave. I'm not going to make anyone stay, but I also want them to know they can go to an even better job. That's my goal, and I'll put it on the wall. I'll make a wall of fame. Oh, you went, I'm going to celebrate you. We're going to have a party, man. You're going for this. That's awesome, and we're going to send them off in a big way. Because they put the time with us, we help them become better. Now, remember, they took that home, right? Now they're better with their families, and their families are in the community. So now, if I'm helping 10,000 business owners create freedom, profit, and impact in their business, they go home. I'm not helping 10,000 people. I'm touching all the people on their teams, their families, and then the community. It's millions. It's exponential. So it starts to change the way people start to do business and interact with each other. So there's a lot of power in that. I know that was a lot, but that's it's just a lot to it.
Yeah, the way you thank you so much for that. And it's quite powerful because your perspective in terms of creating businesses, it's very broad, it's very visionary. You're not looking at things, you're not looking at your business as my business, me, my employee, my products, the market. You are looking at things from a communal perspective. That is, if you are able to touch the lives of your employees, teach them to be better, they become better for the society at large. So you are looking at things from a very much more broader impact perspective, which quite frankly, it's something very rare. And my generation, with the younger generation, we oftentimes don't see things things like that. We always see things from a very linear perspective. The business owner, the product, the employee, the market, and that's it. And thank you so much for that. And I'm very sure you talked about this in the book. That is escaping the owner prison. Why did you write this book?
Because I started seeing the same patterns with all the businesses I work with, all the same wrong things that I did. So it's like this, Mahmoud, you start your business and guess what? It's really hard work. Okay. You're going to put in a lot of hours your first 2 years. No way around that. Like you can think you're going to, like everything I just said sounds great and you'll be free. That doesn't happen in the beginning because you don't know what you're doing, literally. You're going to figure it out. You're going to get scars. You're going to get beat up. You're going to lose money, but you're going to persevere. You're going to work 60, 70, 80 hours a week. You're going to have to do all these things in the beginning, but there is relief to that. But the problem, the pattern I saw was, okay, let's say it's 2 years of really, really hard work.
Okay.
And then go into business. So, I got freedom now. I can make my own schedule. I can do my things, right? Well, the reality is next thing you know, 10 years has gone by and you've just repeated the first 2 years 5 times. So you're stuck on a hamster wheel. You're running in place. You're not growing. You're not scaling. You're not getting any freedom because you have to open the door every day for your business to run. You haven't delegated the hats. You haven't built a business so other people can thrive in it, right? You can't scale because there's only one of you. Even if you have people working for you, it's still all on you. So that's what happens. And a lot of times and I don't beat up younger generations because every younger generation has been beat up. I got beat up when I was young that we don't, you got baby boom or something. I don't do this, I'm a Gen X guy and everything else. And I'm in the Marine Corps and I'm doing it. So I get all of that. And we all have our weaknesses and our strengths. Right. But it's okay because they can adapt to the marketplace. So, but what I do see a lot in this generation, which is what I'll call the social media generation, right, and I learned this great quote, and I forgot the woman's name, so forgive me, whoever you were. It said, today the kids, the younger people want to be discovered. They don't want to be developed. Right. So you have this influencer generation. I look good. I want to carry someone else's purse and they're going to pay me and I want to do all that. What they don't realize, well, 2 things. Anyone who's doing great things is a long journey. There's, they say every overnight success only took 10 years. Okay. So there's no poof, I'm this. Okay. You got to be developed. You got to get the scars. You got to get beat up. You got to lose money, right? We're talking business, right? So they don't want to do that though. They think they're just going to own a business and be the king, sit in an office chair and spin around and look out the window. Okay. It just doesn't happen that way. Right. So we have to kind of pull back from that belief system that you can just be this. And if I get on YouTube enough, I'll be someone famous. Like, no, you have to build a business. It's this, and it's the exact same things that I neglected, right? In 20 years, all that stuff I didn't do that caused the actual collapse. That's what I'm talking about. You have to do that. I can't just be out winning awards, being famous. I'm air quoting, right? But I mean, I'm like, yeah, I'm all that stuff, but you're on a house of cards, and that's the problem. So the wake up call will come eventually. You might be able to get by with it for a little while, but it's going to come, and it's just work, Mahmoud. You know what they say, right? The only place Success comes before work is in the
It's a
dictionary.
dictionary.
Yeah, buddy. So just remember that, because it's work is good. Work is good. It's powerful. It builds your character. It only a working man knows true rest, right? Only, I mean, you go work hard all day. Tell me you don't sleep well at night,
Mm.
right? So
Yeah.
it's just something you got to build into yourself and make sure you put in the time.
Wow. Work is good. Work is good, especially when you love what you're doing.
Mhm.
Um, I run a marketing agency, and particularly my area is basically to help startups. And when we did like a piece of content for a tech startup, and we went to the streets to interview people like um, the most successful business owners in tech. How old do you think they are? And people would kept on saying 25, 30, 28. And there's this misconception that the most successful business people, from my own generation perspective, they are very young. So there's no sense of delayed gratification. If you put in the work, you will get it down the line, which is very important. Also, so thank you so much, Richard. If you are still here, thanks for waiting for so long. It's I didn't even know that time has gone so much. We've gone almost 30 minutes into this already. And this is Richard Walsh. Sorry about that. Thanks so much. And please drop a comment. I'm very sure he will be seeing the videos, and he might need to respond to your comments or questions that you might need moving forward with your life. So one of the questions that founders I will oftentimes ask founders that will have roundtable discussions around, like, okay, this product that you're building, how long do you see yourself being around this business? And the question around exit strategy comes, and many people don't even know what to do. They just need to keep on building, and a big payday down the line will come. So in terms of exit strategy, I want you to take your time to take us through this. When the first question is that, when are you sure that you are ready to exit? And what are the indicators that would show to you that you are mature enough to exit the business? And what the guilt as well of you creating something and leaving it behind? How do you curtail that and take yourself out of the prison, as you rightly put it?
Right. So here's the key. What nobody ever does is they don't write their exit strategy before they launch their business. Okay. They get in the business and they start working and making money and going, and they're building their business, and they have no exit strategy because I love it. It's my passion. I'm going to do it forever. I'm going to give it to my kids. All this stuff that's in your head, that's all pretty much a lie. Okay. Because everything changes all the time. And today, it changes so fast. We don't even make 5-year plans. Okay. Because things are going to be so different, right? Like in the day to day, right? If we're trying to build strategy for our business, that's difficult. So what you want to do, again, the best time is before you launch your business. Second best time, Mahmoud, is right now. Okay. To write this exit strategy. Now I'm going to go through this, what it actually looks like. Okay. So first is, how much is enough? How much money is enough for you? It's just $1 more, the old Rockefeller thing. Do I just need $1 more and that's it? That's the pursuit? More all the time? Or do you have a place where you say, you know what? Yeah, that's the number. If I got that in 5 years or 10 years, I'd be good. If I built this business, I could exit at $10 million, $20 million, $100 million, whatever the number is, doesn't matter what it is. Now, it got to be realistic. You're not going to start a lawn mowing business and want a $200 million exit in 10 years. Okay. It's not going to happen. Right. But tech industry, things like that. Yes, we understand the upside for a lot of these things. A lot of businesses can do that. Dollar Shave Club. You know Dollar Shave Club?
Yes, yes, yes.
4 years, $1 billion. He was bought out for $1 billion by Lever. That's unbelievable. He started with a video. Okay. I mean, that's like unbelievable. I mean, I'll call it a unicorn. Doesn't have, but man, I'm still a customer. But I'm just saying, like, you get this plan. So we figure out how much is enough. Now you put a time limit on it. Okay, 10 years, 7 years, 20 years. I don't care what the number is. Figure it out. So now you have the time and you have the amount. Okay. Now we have to reverse engineer. So now we have to come back to where we are today and say, how do I get there? So if I want a $10 million exit and I want to do it in 10 years, what does that look like? Okay, so I'm going to start building my business. What it does, it gives you the roadmap of when you're going to hire your first person, your second person, your third person, understand where your business is going to go. Now, let's say you're going there and now you're making 7 figures as a salary you're taking from the company. I'm making $1 million. Well, okay, so then if you sell in 10 years and you've been making $1 million a year, now you're going to lose $1 million a year, or you're not going to get $1 million a year, right? So what do I do about that? I know I get 10, but I don't have the million. Well, during that, just part of the reverse engineer, I'm going to start acquiring assets that produce income for me. Real estate, other businesses, stocks, Bitcoin, I don't care what it is. Start taking part of that million you're making and start building assets. And now, oh, look, I have $83,000 a month coming in passively. That's my million. Now, when I exit, I get my big check and I continue to get $1 million a year because I built the assets, right? Now, the next thing is, as you get successful and you're moving towards that big end goal, a lot of people are going to see you growing, see you doing well, and they're going to bring opportunity to you. Hey, you need to get into this. This makes a lot of money. You can make a lot more money with this. This could be a great part of your business. And you can say, okay, but I'm going to take that recommendation and I'm going to run it through my exit strategy. Does it get me closer and faster to my exit, or does it detract from my exit? It might look good. It's very shiny. Money looks good, but is that going to get me to my exit, or is it going to pull me off course? If it pulls me off course, it's a hard no. If it gets me closer, let's talk. Let's make this happen, right? It becomes an ultimate business filter for you. That exit is everything you're focused on. Okay. It's like, it's the light at the end of the tunnel, if you will, but it keeps the main thing, and keeps you driving hard for that, organized, scalable, and you have to systemize to make that, because you're not going to be, no one's going to pay whatever your number is. And everyone thinks your business is worth way more than it is. Of course. Right. Yes. I see you smiling, and that's why, because it's like, you got to be kidding me. You want how much? I'll give you this, I'll give you 10 cents on that dollar. But what it does, it makes you build a business that someone wants. It makes it super attractive. It means it's fully systemized. It's self-running. It doesn't require you. Because Mahmoud, if you want 10 million for your business and we're talking, and I say, okay, 10 million, here's how I want the transaction to go for you. Okay. You want 10 million? I say, you know what? This is really dialed in. I'll do the 10 million. I give you a check for 10 million. You shake my hand. You're out the door. I'm in, and nobody knows the business sold. That's how it should go, because the business is run so well.
Yes.
You just picked up a profit maker. You just bought, and now you can tweak it and do whatever, but in your mind, I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible. Like, that's your goal. If I'm coming in, you got a bunch of broken down vehicles and old equipment, and you got the, whatever, some lady's still doing stuff on paper ledgers, right? And stuff like that. Like, I'm not giving you anything for that. I'm going to give you like 10 grand for the mail list. Okay. That's what I'm going to give you, and you wanted 10 million. I'll give you 10,000, so you're not going to get anything for it. So the exit strategy is so critical. It's a big thing that we do in my coaching program. We really focus on that. It's hard work, like everything else. Yeah. But when you start doing that and your money knows where it has to go because you got a plan, oh man, that 10 years goes really fast. I'm telling you, it goes so fast. And all of a sudden you're there. And again, it doesn't have to be 10, it could be 5 years. Depends on your business, right? People do it. That's what entrepreneurship is. It's starting and selling businesses. That's like the true definition of entrepreneurship. You're not going to do one thing forever. You're going to do this, sell it, do another, so hopefully that makes sense.
It's actually makes sense. And you said something that I haven't even thought about because my life has just been marketing. I'm the guy that they call, I'm basically a one-trick pony. I don't know
Right.
any other thing rather than like creating awareness and conversion for businesses. And I started my own business recently, and it's something I'm very passionate and I'm very happy about. I'm happy with the kind of results that we're getting, but it has not, it's, I never saw it as something from an entrepreneurial perspective that you define right now, saying entrepreneurship is basically starting and selling businesses. It has never crossed my mind. I just felt, okay, let me just build this and help businesses as much as I can, and obviously make dividends from all of the efforts that is put into it. So you talked about your coaching program. So I want to assume that's something that you're fully working on at the moment. So tell us about it so that, and let people know how they can reach out to you if they need
Sure.
any help in any way. Yeah.
Yeah, so sharpenthespearcoaching.com. That's my website. You can contact me through there. What we do is you begin with a 12-month program, and we evaluate where you're at exactly right now in your business. So we have a full evaluation. You take just yes or no answers. You answer, it's about 160 questions, but it'll show you in the 12 areas of your business, everything from marketing to leadership to finance to everything. And it'll show you where you're at, scores it. There's 4 different levels. And I'll just give you a heads up, you're probably going to score low. Okay, because most people have not done all these things, but that's okay because we can fix that. But now that helps us develop a roadmap. So we start to do that. So our goal is to create freedom, profit, and impact in your business. Well, the business first has to run basically without you. So we need to systemize your business. We do that during the process. We develop exit strategies. We do all the things that we were talking about today. Okay, we do all that for you because when you get that, that's when you can start making the impact, right? Now you can see clearer. Things aren't blocking your view. You've got things going. How can I help others? What can I do for my community? How can I make my people better and better? Right? All that kind of stuff. So that's really what we want to see. And that's what we do. But we really give them back control of their business so their business serves them. That's what it's about. And they get that freedom to be with their families, watch their children grow up, attend all the games, all the stuff they do. So that's really what it's about, because that's what everyone got in business for. And again, through all those patterns that I've seen repeat again and again, we fix that, right? We show you the new way to scale. And that's the process that we've talked about here today. So sharpenthespearcoaching.com. Go there, drop me an email. And I'll tell you what, because I'm on your show, let's give them something special. I'm going to give your audience something special. Okay. So you got Escape the Owner Prison, the book. You can get it on Amazon. If you like a physical book, you can buy it there. Just go there, find me, Richard Walsh, and Escape the Owner Prison. Or if you want to make it faster and easier and cheaper, go to sharpenthespearcoaching.com, go down to contact, send me a 1-sentence email. Say, Richard, I saw you on Mahmoud's program. I want the free audio version of your book, and I will send it to you.
All right. I tell you guys every time I have like the best guests ever. They come to you guys like Santa every now and then. So you know what to do now. Go to the website. Reach out to Richard and his team, and they will be sending you the free audiobook, so you can listen to it as you're listening to this podcast. You can listen to it while you're driving, at the gym, anything. Just listen to it in passing and pack so much knowledge in. All right. Thank you so much, Richard, for stopping by. One last question is, what's like your most unpopular opinion about marketing or business at the moment? Do you have any?
Most unpopular. Oh, you really want me to say this?
Yes, I'd love to.
Okay, dude. Well, this is your area. You're the subject matter expert here, and I'm going to give you a guy who knows about marketing but isn't a marketer. Okay, I just run businesses. It's an unbelievable point of frustration. Okay, because every marketer promises you everything. Okay. They're going to do it all. They're going to, like, by tomorrow, everything is just going to be amazing, no matter what. And then they give you this onboarding sheet. And then you fill out, I spend 8 hours doing, I mean, every detail you can imagine about my business, my ICP, right? My ideal client profile. I build it all out. They don't even read it. And they still insist they're going to get me what they say they're going to get me. And I'm like, I don't understand where you're fishing. My fish are not in that pond. There's carp in that pond. There's no bass. Okay. Or literally there's no marlin. Okay. I need like a saltwater fish, if you will. Right. And you're in a freshwater pond. Right. But you're happy to take my money. And then I get to wait 3 or 4 months to say I'm right. My clients were there, but I'm the only one who loses. So why don't you should tell us, and you probably do this on your other shows, like it it's very niche specific, is it not? Marketing. I mean, you're not marketing for everybody, right? I mean,
You
just like
have,
someone's business, you can't, I can't serve everybody in the world,
yes.
right? Is that what
So,
you see in marketing?
all right. Thank you so much for that question. The marketing for me, it's like it's psychology. And for me, the lens in which I look at businesses is basically to see who is interested in what this business has to offer and what makes them tick. I spend with my team, we spend so much time on that rather than every other thing. And I did a video piece around this last week on TikTok. I told the video was about me telling business owners that if you there are two things that you need to look for when you're going into a meeting with a marketing agency. One, what they know about your business and your product. If they don't have a full understanding about what you do and whom is for, you guys don't have any business together. It's always very easy to distill, to narrow down those two factors. You might talk about strategies, as you talked about tech and spoke earlier. They might give you a long deck for you to go after. They show you strategies. We do this, we target this, we do this, we do that. But the most important thing that you need to come out of that meeting is you need to be sure as a business owner, do these people actually get my business and what my business stands for?
Mhm.
If you are able to answer that question, then you have the right marketing team to work with. You talked about the ideal customer profile. So if they understand your business, the product, what that product is all about, you give them every resource for them to succeed, they will be able to look at the right customer profile, probably two, max three of them, and you'll create the right personas and what makes them tick. And it's one of those things that I feel we marketing professionals need to do more of, digging, going into those meetings open-minded, and not just feel a strategy worked for a particular company or a particular vertical, we can just replicate that particular strategy for this business, because every business, in as much as they might be in the same industry, they always seem to be unique, and always need to like dig deep and look through into it. And that's the reason why we oftentimes don't onboard all the businesses and all the referrals that comes to us if we're unable to answer those questions. All right. So thank you so much, Richard. We are almost 1 minute in 1 minute into our time. So do you have any other thing that you want to share with a guest, or you want to call it a wrap?
We can call it a rebel. I just want to thank you for having me on, and thank you for being honest and having integrity in your business, where you're not going to take everybody who puts money in front of you. Very, very important. All businesses should learn that. Okay. It's okay to say no to people, serve those who you can truly serve, and do it to the best of your ability. Bring more value than you're ever being paid for. That's what I'll leave you with.
All right. Thank you very much. Integrity, integrity. takes us all, makes the world all better, because we can eventually trust ourselves. Thank you so much, Richard. I'll look to engaging with you further in the future, and obviously I'll be dropping you my email address so that we can exchange correspondence moving forward. Thank you so much. Bye bye.